Hey guys, my name is Melissa and this is Candles and Conspiracy Theories. Welcome to my channel. I am a brand new YouTuber. I am a brand new at making videos. I just started doing videos to the back of a camera last week. I've only done selfies. So this is a whole new way to record. I can't see myself. Is it even recording right now? Am I gonna get through a whole video and nothing be there? I don't know, learning. Anyway, so I own a business. I own a small business called Crafted Scent Bar here in Mount Dora, Florida. I am a divorced 50-year-old empty nester grandmother. I have a little over 1-year-old grandson. He's the cutest thing you've ever seen. My son and his wife live in St. Augustine. My daughter lives in Palm Harbor. I live here in Lake County near my mom. The reason that I wanted to start Candles and Conspiracy Theories is because I have a story. I have a story that I need to tell. And I've been telling my story at my classes of how, I was in corporate banking and, COVID hit and they wouldn't let us see our clients. And I had this little voice in my head that said open Crafted Scent Bar, so I did. And that's all true. But it was a little bit more than that. It was actually a lot more than that. It's a story of me, my head exploding pretty much, almost literally. Everything that I thought I believed in was just shattered. I went from being a very vocal, left, liberal feminist to going back to my roots that were planted in me when I was a child. I was baptized Catholic. I got my first communion. I did not do any farther than that. So I don't have my, whatever it's called, I don't even know, confirmation. And since I didn't get my confirmation, I can't be a godmother. I am my nephew's godmother, but only like a faux godmother, because technically I can't be a real godmother. But maybe we'll work on that. Maybe I need to go through the steps. I was always very, kind of anti-Catholic growing up. I don't want to go too far in the weeds with, this story about me and my, past and things like that. I'm sure that little snippets will come out as I make videos. But my dad in Pennsylvania that raised me planted a lot of really great seeds. We'll call them Jesus seeds, little mustard seeds of faith. And even though, of course, I went through, my teenage years and even after that, I got pregnant at 19. I dropped out of college. I then got divorced before I was even 30. Single and ready to mingle back then. Made so many mistakes. Obviously, wish I could take them all back. We can't. All we can do is learn and go forward from where we are. So, anyway, where was I? I think I'm gonna have to stop this video and find out where I was in my story. That's what happens when you turn 50. Your brain goes away. You lose all sense of all of it. I don't know, maybe I'll just blame it on that, but yeah. Brain fog, it's a real thing. Perimenopause. If you're a perimenopause girly, you're in the right spot. All right, so let's just get into it. I was pretty much always a banker. I started making candles 27 years ago, almost 28 years ago, when I got pregnant with my daughter. I didn't want to go back to work after I had her. And my daddy in Pennsylvania said, why don't you make candles? And I was like, you buy those at the store. I don't know what you're talking about. You make a candle. And I found a book, taught myself, made candles. My ex-husband and I had a kiosk. Sorry for that ding. My ex-husband and I had a kiosk at the Lake Square Mall. I'm just gonna do the same story I do at my classes. We had consultants that sold them for us, and then we had a fire and we lost our shop. But It was the best smelling fire that they ever fought. And but after that, I lost the umph, to be in business. This little thing I noticed is making a lot of noise on the table. So I always did it for friends and family and fundraising and all kinds of stuff throughout the years. Reinvented it out of need a few times. One time I was living over in Palm Harbor, and I was laid off from a job the same day my daughter was accepted into an early college program. And I was like, well, we're not leaving, we're staying here, and you're doing that, because they didn't have that in Lake County. So I started making candles again and taking them out to the pier, and I just prayed back, Lord, I don't even really know who I was praying to, but I was just praying, Lord, someday I would love to have my own space. So I moved back to the area in 2017 because my mom got sick, and I left a job over there, moved in with my granny, and took care of her for a little while. I then was delivering food for a local delivery place, and I got a call from my old boss at an auto finance company. And because did I skip that part? Did I skip the whole part that I was a banker all these years? That's been my career, has been in banking. I started out as a teller, I did head teller, I opened accounts, all of those things, and then moved into the indirect dealer services, where you're like an outside salesperson and you go visit car dealers, and those are your clients. So that's what I did from like 2009, I think I started, because it was right 2008, right when the market crashed. I started in that job, and I knew nothing about anything, so I was just like la la la, bebopping into the dealerships, like everything's fine, everything's gonna be good, and these guys were like, everything had come to a complete halt. I was so naive. It's kind of good to be naive though. Anyway, I'm going on so many stupid tangents. I apologize. This is going to be a long video. I didn't really want it to be a long video. That was the whole point, was to re-record a video, because I had a video from last year that I made, and it was just so much stuff, so much extra little stories that you don't care about. Or maybe you do. I guess we'll find out. Let me know in the comments if you like my tangents. Anyway, speaking of comments, did you like and subscribe and all of that good stuff? Because I need the followers. I don't have any, so I'm brand new. I'm a little baby channel. Help a girl out. So anyway, back to the story. Living with Granny, I get hired at a huge bank doing dealer rep stuff, and I really felt like I had made it. 6 figures, company car, the works, sales trips, expenses, all the things. It was so fancy. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I was very, very liberal at the time. So unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize that banks were liberal. I really always thought they were always like, they weren't Democrat, they were Republican. The people with the money are the Republicans, right? Isn't that how, what we're taught? Anyway, so I join Bank of America. I'm just gonna say it. Maybe I'll call them Bank of the World, because kind of I feel like that's kind of what they want to do. They want to be. This is hard. It's hard to, why does it scares me to talk about it. I don't understand. What can they do? They can do nothing. This is my story, right? This is how I feel. This is how I interpreted things. And I need to share it. but I feel like I did when I worked there, you know. And quite honestly, even afterwards, like, you can't post anything, you can't say anything about anything, you know. They're very, very strict about, you know, whatever. So I start working at the bank in 2018, I guess. And so I worked there, you know, for a couple years and loved it. You know, they were all about, you know, pride parades and social justice and all the things. I loved it. I loved volunteering. I loved learning about the environment and the, you know, all this, like I said, social justice and the governance and the, you know, I would take those classes that they gave, and I ate it up because I was, you know, very much on the left, and I loved the diversity. I loved how it felt like we were really trying to take care of people. So I was very happy. And then COVID hit. I keep losing my train of thought. I keep getting distracted by the traffic outside. I don't know if I'm going to be a very good YouTuber. I can't even get through one story. We'll get there.